You know, Republicans make this huge show and this huge deal out of faith, freedom, and the fight for Jesus Christ, but we all know that they would literally sell their mother for a compliment from Donald Trump.
There's a lot of talk. I mean, healthcare reform is going to be a big part of the agenda. When I say we're going to have a very aggressive first 100 days agenda, we got a lot of things still on the table. But healthcare, that's part. It's the secret. It's the secret. Healthcare reform is not a secret. There's some really important ideas on the table, and we have a docs caucus, the physicians who serve in the House, and they've got a menu of options about this thick. And I think this is part of it, because if you take government bureaucrats out of the healthcare equation and you have doctor-patient relationship, it's better for everybody, more efficient, more effective. That's the free market. Trump's going to be for the free market. You heard a little sample of that last night. We want to take a blowtorch to the regulatory state, okay? I mean, these agencies have been weaponized against the people, and it's crushing the free market. It's like a boot on the neck of job creators and entrepreneurs and risk takers. And so healthcare is one of the sectors, but we need this across the board, and Trump's going to go big. I mean, he's only going to have one more term, right? Can't run for re-election. And so he's going to be thinking about legacy, and we're going to fix all these things. And,
no Obamacare?
No Obamacare. Yeah, the ACA is so deeply ingrained. We need massive reform to make this work, and we got a lot of ideas on how to do that.
Thanks, sir. You've talked about Leader Schumer's record with regards to continuing resolutions. Your record, you voted against continuing resolutions in the past, including when Speaker McCarthy was the Speaker. How do you explain your stance now versus yours previously?
Yeah, different circumstances, different times. When we did CRs in the past, you had leverage points of things that when the Democrats were trying to put their partisan priorities in, we were trying to use whatever leverage we had in the minority to take them out. Very important distinction right now. We did not put in Republican priorities in the clean CR. I could have put some of our priorities or poison pills or things that Democrats had done in the past to us. We didn't. And that's why there's nothing to negotiate right now. People say, why aren't you negotiating? I don't have anything to offer. I can't go to a clean CR and say, let me pull off the Republican priority and make it more palatable for you, because we didn't add that in. It's simply a status quo continuance. With regard to the swastika thing, this happened last night. A Republican congressman, allegedly one of his staffers had something in the background or something in a Zoom. That's what I heard this morning. He says that that's not his, and there's a proper investigation ongoing, and the congressman did exactly what he should have done, and that is report it. It's under investigation, and I can't comment on it any further until that's done, but I will say, obviously, that is not the principles of the Republican Party. We stand for the founding principles of America. You want me to articulate them for you right now? Individual freedom, limited government, the rule of law, peace through strength, fiscal responsibility, free markets, human dignity, the things that lead to human flourishing. We have stood against that. We fought the Nazis. We defended that evil ideology. We roundly condemn it, and anybody in any party who espouses it, we're opposing that.
Every Republican and Democrat should be in D.C. right now working. Most of all, Moses Mike Johnson, who is this big Christian. If he's a big Christian, he should be teeing up, fighting for health care, fighting for the marginalized, fighting for the poor, but instead he weaponizes his faith to lure voters in and then dicks them over every chance he can get. And that's what people are so sick of.
Hi. I just want to start by saying, hearing you say that everyone is smiling in the cities where troops, our National Guard, has been rolled into, feels dystopian and insane to hear you say that, watching the response to this. But that's not actually my question. My question, I just needed to say that while hearing you talk about this. My question is, if Republicans and Democrats can agree to a one-year extension to the ACA subsidies, removing this sort of talking point of illegal immigrants draining our resources, as you sit here and lie about this, would you support that bill and bring it to a vote on the House floor? This is a big question that I have for you. Thank you.
Yeah, well, not lying. I'm telling you the truth, and you can go look at all the documents yourself. Don't look at Republican paperwork. Look at the Congressional Budget Office, who said that we had at least 1.4 million illegal aliens draining the resources from Medicaid, which is why we put their forms into law and got it signed July 4th. Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries' counterproposal for the CR would reverse all that. Look at page 57, section 2141 of the bill that they filed. I made it easy for you. Go to speaker.gov, my website. It's right there on the homepage. See for yourself. Don't take my word for it. Look what they wanted to do. But with regard to whether or not the subsidies could be extended for a year, Hakeem Jeffries came out yesterday and said that is a non-starter. You have to ask him why he said that. I'm not sure. But he and I both know that we have a lot of work to do within our respective caucuses to build consensus around that. Many, many people here believe you have to have serious changes and reforms to make it work better. Those subsidies are propping up insurance companies, and it is driving premiums up higher. It is not solving the problem. You think about this. When the government subsidizes something, it means it's not working. The EV mandates, the electric vehicle mandates, the reason the government said we'll pay you $7,500 if you buy an electric vehicle is because nobody was buying electric vehicles. And even when they did the subsidy, it didn't work. So we reversed that. The subsidy means that Obamacare is not working. So we need to fix the root of the problem and not continue to add the taxpayers' funds on top of that. That's a real concern.
What's your message to the 170 or so U.S. citizens who have been detained by ICE? About 20 of them are children. And to your GOP colleagues, do you support ICE raids in the agriculture and hospitality sectors of your districts?
I don't know what you're talking about with the children. I do know that ICE is...
170 U.S. citizens, according to ProPublica, have been detained by ICE so far since January.
Okay, I haven't seen that, so I'm not going to comment on it. But I will tell you that ICE is doing the job that the American people demanded that they do. If you look back at the election results of 2024, it was overwhelming. And virtually every poll noted that the border and the issues that came from the open border were the number one issue on the minds of Americans. It's largely why President Trump won such an overwhelming victory in the election, won all 7 swing states and 75 million popular votes. House Republicans got 74.8 million popular votes, the highest vote total we've ever had in history, and largely because we were talking about the madness of the open border and all the chaos that ensued and came from that. Now, the border has been totally closed. There's virtually 0 illegal crossings now in the last 4 months as it's been recorded, and that's because you have strong leadership. The Immigration and Customs Enforcement, that's what ICE stands for, don't forget. They're enforcing federal law. They're enforcing the federal immigration law.
In his mind, how do you qualify being a good Christian and at the same time want to take away health care?
I go way back to the beginning when I was talking about we're using the same word to describe, we as a society are using the same word to describe 2 very different kinds of faith believers. Mike Johnson is a beta male in a patriarchal structure. He knows that he's got to be obedient to his authority, who is Donald Trump, who is God, or who is Russ Vought, who is God, like if Donald Trump's off to the side. But it's not the same faith that we're used to as far as Christians caring for their Samaritan neighbor and stopping to help and provide and caring about, with empathy, the needs of the country. Mike Johnson's a theonomist. He believes in Levitical law. You're either in or you're out, and it's belonging based on belief. And there is no health care there. Fundamentalists don't use insurance programs and state aid or anything like that. I wasn't allowed to go use WIC or, anything like that as an impoverished fundamentalist wife. They don't allow that in their households and in their communities. And so they don't really think that the nation needs it either. If they're going to scale it to their model, non-believers will not have health care. The only people who will have health care are the Christians who are underneath their umbrella of authority. And they don't care. They're very heartless about this, and they talk about it in a way that is, well, that's your fault because you didn't believe.
The right wing in this country has cheapened the name of God more than pretty much any other time in modern history. I mean, Donald Trump is so far away from anything godly, anything to do with the message and the compassion and passion of Jesus Christ. I mean, like, you can't get them further apart. Donald Trump, who doesn't know a single Bible verse, who's been lying and cheating on everybody his whole entire life, rips people off. We know this. Lies every time he opens his mouth. Maybe, I don't know, I might want to get into heaven. I would prefer to go to heaven. I don't want to go downstairs. I'd rather go upstairs. This man who's waging war, just blowing up fishing boats off the coast of Argentina willy-nilly, done did it 6 times in the last couple of months. All this going on. Meanwhile, they're actively cutting health care. That's why this whole shutdown's going on, because they want to make health care premiums more expensive, taking away benefits, cutting programs to research for cancer, cutting programs that help hungry and starving children, taking away access, taking away people's ability to climb the social and economic ladder in this country, because that's what Jesus would do. It's cheap. They've cheapened it completely. We all know what Jesus is supposed to stand for, whether you're a Christian or not. It doesn't matter. It's not ambiguous whatsoever.